let's just imagine you're a DevOps professional running on AWS, and one day your boss comes running in and says the website's down, the website's down. What do you do? That's exactly what's happening in this scenario here. Well, actually, it's a background worker, but still, it's pretty brutal. This one's pretty impressive. Watch Leo. Leo is a master at his craft, okay? And I kind of threw this one straight down the center to him unintentionally. He's very good at this one part of it, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because during these videos, you can try and train yourself by pausing the video and guessing at what the scenario is. So if you want to take guesses, pause the video and leave a comment as to what your guesses are and the timestamp you guessed at it. With that said, I'm Matt with Schematical. I design massive scalable systems for big clients that if they go down, they lose 6 figures an hour. So pretty scary stuff. My systems have to scale up. They'll even have to be future-proofed. I got to do all sorts of stuff to make sure AI fits in it now. Lots of fun. And that's part of the reason why I design these live wargame events, because they bridge the gap between studying and book knowledge and real application. Okay, a lot of people are stuck in the middle. They can't past that gap. So I'm giving you hands-on real-world training in a sandbox environment that's very safe and collaborative. People are very supportive here. It's a great group. So if you're interested in joining in one of these, you should go to cloudwargames.com and sign up and just get on the list, and we'll send out async challenges and other fun stuff to you as we go. And if you're at all interested, you can join in and listen to one of these games live or participate. You'll see Jermaine, actually, he was just going to listen and he decided to jump in halfway through. So pretty cool stuff. With all that said, I'm Matt with cloudwargames.com. Let's dive on in. Speaking of background workers, we have a background worker that runs. It's a Lambda. It is the one that doesn't have dub 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 in the title. It's poorly named because I designed it for the async scenarios, but that is currently running once a minute, and it is supposed to reach out to the internet to a very important quote unquote API and pull information in from that important API. And then it should reach out to SSM, the systems manager parameter store, to cache that information for use later. So we update it once a minute. That right now is broken.
Leo, are you interested in driving, or do you want me to do it?
I can look at it if you want, with your support, maybe. Share my screen first. Oh, Matt, you explained me that the issue is with this Lambda function here, explodeme.com, that is not properly sending information.
So CloudWatch events triggers that once a minute, and it's supposed to reach out to an important API, which is just the weather API because it's not important information at all. And it just pulls that, and then it's supposed to save it to the SSM param store.
Okay. Yeah, maybe have a look at it. So,
I guess for this we don't have any UI, right? Like it's just something that runs in the background.
That is correct. That's one of the reasons this is a kind of an advanced one, is because it's a little more
subtle.
Yeah.
How frequently does it run, Matt? Every minute?
1 minute. That's why I set it up so it really poke us in the eye and tell us. So this is actually separate infrastructure from the stuff that does the website. So they don't really overlap. Just another hint.
So it looks like the Lambda's timing out.
Yeah, text timeout after freeze. Don't have a specific message.
Or maybe we can go to the config.
So I think it has proper permission to system manager to put parameter. And so
timeouts to me always scream a network issue.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Frequently,
so,
if it can't.
It's deployed in this VPC and in those subnets. So we can see at least that it has the proper outbound rule to any destination.
So right there, that is an important hint, all right? He just flew past security groups, which is one of the most basic things that, like, 9 times out of the 10, if you're just starting out, it's going to be a big problem, all right? And IAM roles as well. That's one of the other very common misconfigurations I see that people struggle with. Those two things are so common. He just flew right through those in just a few seconds. So I want you to notice that. He actually went so fast that one of the other participants didn't even see it, but I don't blame them because they're more of a beginner, and Leo clearly is a beast. So I'll let you get back into it, but that was pretty cool.
So let's have a look at the VPC here.
Yeah, maybe the APC is the one that is blocking the traffic.
So yeah, I think this Lambda is deployed in private. So if it's deployed in private, might need a route to internet with a NAT gateway, but let's see what's. So that's a private subnet in the routing table. and there is a VPC endpoint. Okay, so let's click on the routing table. So first, there is no association on the proper VPC, so it's PC56.
I thought timeouts a lot of times was related to like security group.
It definitely can be like, but that's still a network issue. Like the firewall isn't allowing traffic through if it's a security group. So it falls under the same bucket, really.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Lambda is deployed in those two subnets, private A and private BA. I think we have ED8BC. Yeah, that's the proper one. There is no route to the internet, only a route to this endpoint. And I guess because there is a prefix list in here, it's for S3. Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So that was crazy fast. He nailed it. That's one of my more advanced ones that I've seen broken fairly commonly. They don't just randomly happen. Usually it's just a poorly set up subnet in the beginning. But he zeroed in on that like crazy. That is amazing. This is the type of skills I want to showcase. I know we're training people here, but other people can learn from him. That's just, I mean, that was record level stuff. We don't have speedrunning categories yet for Cloud War Games. But if we did, this would be the first one. I'm going to have to start timing these a little more rigorously. So that was impressive. Let's see what his fix for it is. You've nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for every VPC, there's a NAT gateway that basically connects the private subnet to the rest of the world. So what I've done is I accidentally, quote unquote, omitted the route for that connects the IP address for the NAT gateway that connects it to the rest of the internet. So there you go, NAT gateway, and you selected the right NAT. That's all right. I just did exactly what you did. And just imagine that worked. And go ahead and let's continue and let's see if you've solved the problem there.
Yeah, here it's NAT gateway, and we can wait for it to restart.
Yeah, it should run about every 60 seconds. But yeah, basically, I took away the internet. Imagine there's a phone book that each subnet has called a route table. It says, this is where this lives, this is where that lives. There's an IP address instead of a phone number. I ripped the page out that said, here's where the internet is. And that broke it.
The other thing that's interesting with that break is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I think what Leo was saying is that if it wasn't hitting an API and it was just trying to interact with SSM, it wouldn't be able to do it unless you put the SSM VPC endpoint into the route table as well.
Another possible scenario you just ruined for me, but yeah.
Sorry.
I literally have that written down, and I was like, oh man, that's going to be a pain to set up, but that's on me for not setting that one up. Yep.
Yeah, but if you want to imagine some scenario with this use case, you can still, for instance, disable the private DNS name here. So it won't resolve properly the endpoint, for instance. Or of course, you could play with the security groups, like not allowing them to connect. Or maybe
you should definitely just do a scenario that's like the network is totally up, where it's start building the pieces, but each time it's that didn't fix it, that didn't fix it.
So that's probably going to happen if I'm ever not prepared for one of these. It'll just be garbage. I'm like, guys, this is, yeah.
Nice work, Leo.
Yeah, network is my thing, so it's okay.
Yeah. So that was the final scenario, the advanced scenario 3 from the last Cloud War Game event. If you want to get in the next one, which is on this Friday, hurry up, go to cloudwargames.com and get signed up. I realized you couldn't pause this one like the last one and try and take guesses as easily because Leo was just so fast with it. But I'm curious to see if you tried. Let me know in the comments. If you're already signed up to Cloud War Games, then you should have an invite in your inbox, a Calendly invite. Go ahead and get signed up for that if you want to join. If you liked what you saw today or feel like you learned something, please leave a like. I'd love that. If you have any questions, feel free to shout them out as comments. With that said, I am Matt with cloudwargames.com, and I look forward to burning down some fires with you this Friday or in the future. But sign up for this Friday. Cheers.